Hello everybody and anybody who has decided to give this YouTube channel a shot. It's brand new. My name is Damon and I am going to be rebuilding the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, this is a channel that I've wanted to start for a little bit now, ever since about the start of Madden 19, and with all the new additions to this game, I feel like this is the time I should be doing it, so I'm going to dive on in. This is inspired by channels created by Mr. Hurricane and that franchise guy who do their own rebuilds, who I'm a pretty big fan of. I love them both. I try to watch them as much as I can. The difference in my channel is I'm going to be running mine in a 32-man league. Everybody has a team, got to schedule my games. This will be run through the XFL on Discord, a league created and managed by Mitch, Andrew, Aaron, Zeph, and I believe Heartbreaker, but he's a little bit behind the scenes. I imagine he still does just as much. I want to do a special thank you to them. Thank you for letting me do this. I hope that this channel is going to be okay, and I also hope that you run a great league. I'm sure you will. You've been doing it for a while. I'm going to be trying to keep this as sim as possible as far as my signings and my trades go, but odds are I'm going to have to do a little bit of extra that maybe goes beyond sim just to keep up, because nobody else is going to be doing it. They're going to be wheeling and dealing players like crazy. So I'm going to be making a couple trades. Some of them might seem unlikely in real life, and that's okay. I'm just going to be a little bit more aggressive about it. But I'm going to dive on in and let everybody know what's going to be my plans for a lineup and the future of this team. Okay, first off, I'm obviously going to start off with the quarterback situation, and the big reason I picked the Bucs is because I really like this situation. I got a lot of options here, but mainly it's just going to revolve around, is Jameis Winston the answer? I got a few options here. I'm going to end up cutting Ryan Griffin, but I could roll with Winston, Gabbert, or Fitzgerald are my few options. But Winston, is he the answer? He's mobile enough. Definitely could be happy with that. I'm just going to need him to extend plays. He's got moderate accuracy all over the field, short, medium, and deep, and he can throw on the run and under pressure. He's got a good enough arm, 90 throw power. That's just plenty for Madden 20. I'm okay with that. He can run some play action, and he can break a sack really well. He's actually a pretty good quarterback for me. I'm going to be throwing from the pocket. Being able to break a sack is going to be very important to me. I had kind of had to cherry pick some bad stuff about him. Pretty much the only things is that A, he's got a small time frame, which I have plans for, and he's 25, which I don't consider that old. Some other people might, but that's plenty old enough. I mean, young enough to build him into something good. So I like that there. I got a few situations here that I could run into while using Jameis Winston, and number one, best case scenario, is I make a deep playoff run. He really works out. I end up liking him, thinking that he definitely is the answer. He works with the talent he's got around him, in which case I would franchise tag him and sign an extension the following year, making it work. Number two, I make the playoffs with a quick loss. At this point, I would franchise tag him, and I'd have to wait and find out the following year if he repeats it or if he improves. I'm going to have more talent. If he doesn't improve, then odds are he's not the answer, and I got to find somebody who can do it better. Number three, I missed the playoffs. At this point, this is maybe I missed the playoffs week 17. I don't have time to start anybody else. I would then dissect the situation, try to find out if it was Jameis Winston's fault or if it wasn't, and try to make a determination there. If I feel like he still has a chance, again, I'll franchise tag him. Number four, I get eliminated early from the playoffs. This is about week 14, week 15, hopefully not. In which case, I would then roll with Nick Fitzgerald. He's young. He's probably not talented enough at all to be able to make it work, but you know, he's an option, and he's mobile, and he's got great acceleration. I'm gonna have to see if I can make it work, which I'm sure I won't, but it doesn't hurt to try. Number five, I just completely fail early, and it doesn't work, and Winston is not playing well. In which case I would throw him on the trade block and roll with Blaine Gabbert until I am out of playoff contention, in which I again will then roll with Nick Fitzgerald. I got a lot of options here. I got good plans for all of them. I really would like to make Jameis Winston work, because as far as everything he's got, all his accuracy, his throw on the run, his power, his injury rating, it all works out really well for me, and on paper he's a great quarterback for me, so I hope I can make him work. But I'm not going to try to force it. I'm going to see what I can do and weigh my options and determine what's best for the team. Moving on to running back. Primarily, I'm going to be using Ronald Jones. I really like his speed, excel, and agility, and he's got plenty enough carrying to hold onto the football. I'm not going to have to worry about that. Yeah, his overall's a little low, but I'm really not concerned. I'm going to be using him pretty well. I'm going to hope that he's able to learn how to catch the ball very well in the offense. So I'm gonna, he's not very high now, but I hopefully can build that back up so I can really use him in the pass game like I like. out of my lead back. Secondarily, I'm going to be using Peyton Barber. I really like him for power sets. He's got good trucking at 84, considering his overall. His carrying's at 90, ball carrier vision's over 80. And he's a little slower, well, about average speed for a running back, but he's got plenty of excel, which is going to be really good for hitting the hole. And I actually really like both of these backs. I really thought I was going to be only going with Ron John, but through free practice, I found that Peyton Barber is a really quality back and almost always falls forward, and he honestly might even get the lead job over Ronald Jones, depending on how well he is in the pass game. Andre Ellington, probably going to stay on the roster. I'm not really sure how long. He's kind of your average back. He's capable. He's good in the pass game. I've noticed he catches a lot on the run the way I need him to. In between the tackles and running, he's all right. He's serviceable. But he really is just going to be third on the depth chart, relieving these two when they get tired or if one possibly goes down to injury. Looking forward to the future, I'm not sure that either Peyton Barber or Ron John are going to be the answer for this franchise. I'm hoping I can get the most out of Ronald Jones, but I might honestly be able to build both of them, or one or the other, I should say. But I'm not sold on either one of them, so I'm just going to have to see what comes. Okay, my wide receiver core is actually the part of the team that might excite me the most. I know it doesn't look too spectacular, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. In practice mode, Mike Evans is going to be a clear number one. I can use his abilities, his strength to go up and get the ball, and I'm going to really heavily rely on him. Chris Godwin is a really solid number two. I like this 1-2 combo quite a bit. I might be looking to upgrade somewhere, or maybe add like a little bit more of an electrifying receiver down the stretch, hopefully. Brashad Perriman, he may not find himself on this roster. I'm not 100% sold on his skill set. I love his speed, but that's about all he's got, and I can probably get some value out of trading him, so he might find himself on the block. Sleepers in this receiving room are Justin Watson and Scott Miller. I'm actually quite fond of both of them. They have different skill sets. Watson's a little slower than Miller, but he's plenty fast enough, and he's been rolling really well in a sort of backup Mike Evans role where he has to go up and get the ball. He's really tall, 6'3". I believe he's got plenty of jump in. Yes, he does at 93, and he wins those one-on-ones very well. I've noticed very consistently in free practice, like I need him to. So and he's fast enough and has good enough route running and catching traffic that he can actually probably replace Godwin if he goes down also, which makes him really versatile in this offense and a really reliable weapon. Scott Miller, on the other hand, he's really he's small, he's 5'9", but he's really fast, has good acceleration, not quite as agile as I'd like, but I would like to build him into a slot receiver if possible. There's no promises there, but he is on my radar. I like this speed. I think he can be really dangerous after the catch, and I'd like to utilize him a little bit and see if I can get the most out of Scott Miller. So saying all that, I do like this receiving core. There's plenty of room to improve. I would definitely prefer a faster number one, so I might end up in the future trying to draft a different number one receiver and then rolling with him and Mike Evans as more of like an elite number two, that it's somebody that I can rely on to come down with the ball when I need a conversion, and then maybe have a little bit more of an electrifying number one. Somebody maybe like Watson or Scott Miller, if I can grow him to be a good route runner. I like a route runner as my number one, somebody who can consistently get open, that I don't just have to throw jump balls to, and then have a nice solid guy who can come down with it for a number two. So I might end up boosting this quite a bit down the stretch if I find a rookie in the draft that I'm really interested in. Okay, I don't have a lot to say about the tight ends. I don't usually focus too heavily on them, except for the fact that I absolutely love what I have out of OJ Howard. He's 6'6". He can go up and get it. He's going to have good route running. His jumping, where are you at? It's got to be somewhere. 74 ain't great. I think it translates way better considering how tall he is. But he wins those jump balls, not quite as good as Evans, but really close to it. Not only is he big and has the ability to win those, he's also very fast. He's able to get open. He's got great acceleration to go with it. So this is exactly the tight end I want. Anybody who's going to be following this is going to very quickly realize that he's probably not for sale. He's exactly what I want out of a tight end. The only person I could probably prefer over him is George Kittle because of his abilities and, his abilities to have those extra hot routes I'm really in love with. I would love to be able to develop Howard to have those abilities. If that would happen, that would be perfect. We'll have to see what happens. Cameron Brate, I like Cameron Brate. Currently, yeah, he's a tight end, but he's going to be rolling as a fullback. I do usually try to draft a fullback first year, somebody that I can rely on to block. I do like having my power sets and bringing in a fullback to be that lead blocker, and Cameron Brate's going to take that for now. He's fast enough. I believe his blocking is pretty solid. Maybe that's 60, 59. Yeah, that's pretty decent. But he's probably somebody that's going to find out that we're going to find is just going to end up fading away under the roster. He's kind of old. I don't know when his contract's up, but whenever it's up, I'm probably just going to let him walk. He's not that valuable to me. I really like him because he's got good catch stats and he's a good, reliable target. But he's not somebody that I'm in love with on the team. After that, we got some options here. Maybe Hudson can get some playing time, but I'll probably just end up going with Leggett since he's got a little bit more to work with. Catching traffic. He's a better route runner. These are probably going to be my 1, 2, 3. I'm more than likely not going to end up using 3 tight ends and a fullback, even on goal line. I don't run very much goal line. I usually try to spread it out a little bit more than that. But that's going to be my tight end room. I more than likely will be looking for a second tight end, though, and to play behind O.J. Howard so that I can get the pass game out of those heavy sets, that I don't completely just give away the run game. Alright, I'm going to be finishing up this video going into offensive line. Something I'm going to explain after this, I will be getting a new offensive lineman named Moses Streets, who is a right tackle, but since I'm pretty set at right tackle, he's probably going to move over to left. And I also have agreed upon a trade to send away Ali Marpet, so this is going to get a little weaker. But Donovan Smith, this line does not look very good. Well, let's just say I'm going to have Moses Street at left tackle. Donovan's probably going to move inside and take Ali Marpet's spot. Ryan Jensen, still not very good, going to be playing center. Right guard, also bad. I mean, we got 2 64s here. I might end up moving one of those to left guard instead. And then DeMar Dotson's getting old, so there's some serious issues with this offensive line. I do, regardless of the state of my offensive line, I live pretty strongly by the idea that I should use a high draft pick on an offensive lineman every single year, whether that be a first or a second rounder and sometimes a third rounder, or maybe I can just sign somebody in free agency. This is something that I try not to neglect. I know how important a line is, and I don't have a ridiculously mobile quarterback, nor am I probably going to find one. So I am going to be addressing this offensive line through this entire franchise, hopefully making it look a little better. I was pretty disappointed that I'd have to trade away Ali Marpet, but I think you all are going to be happy with my acquisitions. I am personally very excited for at least one of the pieces I'm getting, and I'm very happy for the other one too. I'll announce that later and what I'm getting. But like I said, this is a very weak room. I've been able to work with it decently well in practice, and that helps with my scheme of making a lot of quick reads, and I hope that I can get some receivers that get open, because it's going to be pretty rough first couple of seasons with these guys, not to mention DeMar Dotson's going to start regressing instantly if he doesn't retire. Well, that's going to be it for the offensive portion of my video. I'll be making a defensive portion real soon, hopefully real soon, well, soon as possible. This league is going to be starting this coming up Wednesday, August the 14th. So it's real. I'm gonna have to come up with this video as soon as possible. I'm sure both of these will be up by the time anybody is even starting to watch them. What I was gonna explain earlier is how I'm getting that right tackle. We have a program in the XFL, which is the continuation players, and pretty much it's the person who was running this team last year. He quit, and I'm able to join in, and everybody gets one player that was drafted into the league to carry over. And that player, luckily for me, was an incredibly talented offensive lineman with a lot of strength, really good pass blocking, somebody that I can depend on. And I decided that that was going to be my best bet for this team. I'm not a big fan of this player continuation thing, considering some people are taking positions such as quarterback or other really important spots. Or me taking a 91 tackle, that's a little bit cheesy too, but it's fine, you know, when in Rome. I'm going to go along with it. And like I said, it's not going to be 100% simulation. There's a lot of people who are already just sending ridiculous trades, and they're going to be sending even more. It's going to be really trade happy to start off, and I'm probably going to get a little bit more trade happy than I'd like. But that's just, like I said, when in Rome. It's going to be a work in progress, and I really hope to be making a good team. My goal is to hopefully make this offense really good, and I want to be able to contend for playoffs first year. That's not exactly reasonable. I'll see how good I am compared to the rest as a coach. If not, my goal will be playoffs by the second season. If I don't get that, I will be very disappointed, because this team is ready to be built upon, and I should be able to maximize, especially on the offensive side with that team. So, saying that, I will be making the defensive video very soon, and I would love for y'all to watch it if you like this video too. Thank you very much.